Let's see about Spring Boot. First of all, question is what is Spring Boot? Spring Boot is a framework built on top of Spring framework. It helps develop developers create production ready application, REST APIs, microservices, and enterprise application with less configuration. Why Spring Boot? Problems with traditional Spring. Before Spring Boot, lots of XML configuration, manual server setup, dependency management issues, more development time, but Spring Boot provides auto configuration, embedded server, starter dependencies, and faster development. Let's see Spring versus Spring Boot. In Spring, it provides manual configuration, but in Spring Boot, we get auto configuration. In Spring, need external server, but in the Spring Boot, we get embedded server. In Spring, there is more setup, but in Spring Boot, there is less setup. In Spring, it's complex for beginners, but Spring Boot, it's easy for beginners. Let's see example. In Spring, it configures everything manually, but in the Spring Boot, we have to just run application and start coding. Let's see Spring Boot architecture. Client will come to controller and then service, then repository, then database. Explanation. Controller, it handles requests, service. There we will write business logic. In repository, we configure database communication. Let's see Spring Boot features. There is main features. Auto configuration, automatically configures application. Starter dependencies example, Spring Boot Web includes Spring MVC, Tomcat, and Jackson. Embedded server default is Tomcat, and there is no one needed to deployment. Let's see Spring Boot project creation. We can create Spring Boot project with the help of Spring Initializer. It's a website. We can visit on this website, and there is need to select project as a maven language Java. Spring Boot version should be latest version, and dependencies Spring Boot Web and Spring Boot DevTools. It's sufficient to create a basic project. Let's see project structure example. There we will write code in src, main, and Java. The package will be form, example, demo. There will be a main class. In this condition, main class name is demo application.java. There will be controller, service, and repository directory, or you can say package. In controller, we will write all controller code. In service, we will write business logic. In repository, we will write database connection and configuration details for database. We will write configuration details in applications dot property. It is located in src, main, and resources. Let's see main application class code. there is a main class name is demo application, and we have annotated with Spring Boot application. And there is a main class, public static void main, and we are running a function Spring Boot application dot run demo application dot class. Okay, it's explanation. Spring Boot application annotation contains configuration, component scan, and auto configuration. Let's see creating first REST API. In the controller, the code will be uh, there is one class. The class name is hello controller, and it is annotated with REST controller. And there is we have created a API with the help of get mapping annotation. The function name is public string hello, and it's returning hello Spring Boot as a string. There we will get output by this API. It's a get API, so we can easily open this web browser. The response will be hello Spring Boot application. Just we are returning here. Okay. Let's see application properties. The file name is application.properties till located in src main resources package. Okay. In application.properties file, we will write code like we want to change the port server dot port equal to 8081. By default, port is 8080, but here we are changing the port, and we can write application name spring dot application dot name equal to demo. Okay. In application dot properties file, we can write values as key and value pair in key value pair. Okay, we can write database configuration and other details, which all that properties that which is we are going to use in our application. Let's see real world uses. Spring Boot is used for banking application, e-commerce platforms, booking apps, mobile app backend, and AI integration APIs. Let's see beginner roadmap. Beginner can learn in this order. First of all, need to learn Java basics. After that, Spring Boot. After that, Spring Code, after that Spring Boot, after that need to learn REST APIs, database connectivity, security, then you can move for microservices. That's it. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.